Welcome to Ramzan Biology lectures. Please subscribe and also press the bell icon to receive updates of my lecture. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another biology lecture. In this lecture, we will talk about the glycolysis, the first step of the cellular respiration. In previous lecture, we talked about the cellular respiration, in which we studied about the types of cellular respiration, the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And in this lecture, we will talk about the glycolysis. And glycolysis is the first step of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Whether the cell undergoes the aerobic or anaerobic respiration, the cell will must firstly undergoes the glycolysis and then will enter into the lactic acid fermentation and the Krebs cycle. So let's start. Glycolysis is actually the breakdown of glucose 6 carbon into 2 pyruvate molecule and the net gain of 2 ATP per glucose molecule. Now here, first of all, glucose are used as input, and we know that glucose consists of 6 carbon. So 6 carbon molecule is converted into 2,3 pyruvate molecule, and during this process we gain 2 ATP as a net gain of energy per glucose molecule. Now here in the anaerobic respiration, we say that only 2 ATP energy is released as by product. So in the anaerobic respiration, the 2 ATP which is releasing in the whole lactic acid and alcoholic fermentation, that energy is made of the glycolysis, not of the lactic acid and the alcoholic fermentation. And this energy is released by per glucose molecule, meaning that a cell split one glucose molecule into 2,3 format molecule, it will gain 2 ATP molecule. Now glycogen glucose lysis mean splitting. So the word glycogen glucose and lysis means splitting. So in this, the 6 carbon glucose are split into 2,3 pyruvate molecule. Now in the next part we will talk about it how glucose are split into 2,3 pyruvate molecule. Okay, it occur in cytoplasm, not in mitochondria. So as I mentioned before, that this step occur both in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So this glycolysis does not require the use of O2 in mitochondria. So therefore it occur in the cytoplasm of the cell, not in the mitochondria. Okay, it is completed in two phases. The first one is the preparatory phase, the second one is the oxidative phase. So you can see here that the first of all glucose are converted to VGL phosphoglyceraldehyde as in the preparatory phase, and then the oxidative phase, this PGL is converted into pyruvate molecule. Okay, in the preparatory phase, the glucose 6 carbon, okay, glucose are the 6 carbon is converted into 2 3 carbon, okay, 2 3 carbon molecule. After passing a lot of phases, it convert into 2 VGL, and during this time 2 ATP is used. Now in the respiration we say that energy is released, not used, but here energy is used, not released, and this energy is used as an investment energy, and later energy will be released. As you imagine that for starting up some chemical reaction we need activation energy. So therefore for converting glucose 6 carbon into 2,3 pyruvate molecule, we need activation energy and to start this process. So therefore the 2 ATP will be used as source of energy, and 2 are used because it is converted into 2 VGL synthesis. So therefore 2 ATP will be used. Not in the oxidative phase, here 2 VGL after passing a lot of phases it convert into 2 pyruvate molecule, which is the last product of the whole glycolysis. Okay, now here 4 ATP are released and 2 NADH is also released. So oxidative phase is the main source, the main phase in which energy is released. Now here it is called oxidative phase because in this phase the oxidation process occur. And oxidation, as you know that oxidation is the removal of electron and hydrogen. So here the removal of hydrogen occur, due to which it is called oxidative phase, and the hydrogen comes and attach itself with the NAD, so give us NADH. Okay, now how much energy are produced during the glycolysis? We count here that 4 ATP are produced here, so 4 minus 2 R is used here, so 4 minus 2, it will give us 2 ATP. So it is proved that during the glycolysis process we gain only 2 ATP as a net source of energy. Now after now we study about the general idea of glycolysis. Now we talk about that how this glucose is lastly converted into pyruvate molecule with a very better diagram. So let's start. Now you talk about that how preparative phase and oxidative phase occur. So the first step for the glycolysis is the preparative phase and then oxidative phase. So let's start a preparative phase. In the preparative phase, the glucose is lastly converted into 2 molecules of VGL. Now in the glycolysis, the requirement of glucose is very important. That first of all glucose will be there, so the glycolysis will be started. So glucose are composed of 6 carbon. So now here the 6 carbon will be converted into glucose 6 phosphate, meaning that here ATP will be used as a source of energy, meaning ATP will use as a source of enzyme. So 1 ATP will be converted into 1 ADP, and the ATP, the phosphate of the ATP will come and attach itself with the 6 carbon, so it gives us 6 phosphate. And here at the 6 carbon 1 phosphate is attached, so therefore glucose now called as a glucose 6 phosphate. Now after this, glucose 6 phosphate will be converted into fructose 6 phosphate, and fructose 6 phosphate is the isomer of glucose 6 phosphate. Now isomer is, you know, that is the element having the same chemical composition but have different physical arrangement. So here you can see that there are also 6 carbon 1 phosphate, there are also 6 carbon 1 phosphate, but the physical arrangement somewhere change. Okay, and why glucose is converted into fructose? Because now the holding of 2 phosphate is very important, that the carbon should to hold 2 phosphate in order to use the energy, activation energy. So glucose cannot hold 2 phosphate and fructose can hold 2 phosphate. So here glucose are converted into fructose. Okay, then after this fructose 6 phosphate will be converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate, meaning that here another ATP will be used as a source of enzyme and it will be converted into ADP. The phosphate will comes and attach itself with another end of the carbon. So here what occur that at one end, the first end of the carbon, and the first carbon will have 1 phosphate and the 6th end will have another phosphate, so we have 1,6 biphosphate. Okay, now here 1,6 biphosphate fructose is an unstable molecule, so therefore it will split itself into 3 molecule, and here the splitting process occur, and the glycolysis is the splitting of glucose. So idea is clear that glycolysis is splitting of glucose. So here these 6 carbon glucose are split into 2, 3 VGL, so therefore it is called glycolysis. Now here one molecule which is formed as PGL, and second is a DHAF, dihydroacetone phosphate. Now this also composed of 3 carbon phosphate, this also composed of 3 carbon phosphate. Now here our cell can only use PGL as a source of energy and cannot use dihydroacetone phosphate as a source of energy. So therefore the cell will convert the DHF into the VGL. So now here we will gain 2 molecule of VGL, and of course DHF and PGL, these are the isomer of each other, meaning that they have same chemical composition but have different physical arrangement, therefore they are called as different names. So here we gain 2 molecule of VGL. Now these 2 molecule of VGL will be used in the next oxidative phase. So let's start oxidative phase. Now the 2-PGL are prepared in the preparative phase from the glucose splitting. Now here 2-PGL will undergoes oxidation process. The removal of hydrogen will occur here. Okay. Now here the hydrogen will remove itself from the PGL and it will convert NAD to NADH, and of course these are two molecules, so 2 NAD will be converted into NADH. And here this energy, the energy which convert NAD to NADH, will bring one phosphate to the PGL, and the PGL will be converted into by PGL, and of course there are two molecule. Okay, so it will convert PGL to by PGL, and during this time there are two biphosphate molecule. So here biphosphate will convert itself to phosphoglycerate, and during this time one phosphate is removed and this phosphate convert to ADP to 2 ATP. So here the net gain of energy occur, because okay, here the net gain of energy started. Okay, so here 2 ATP and 2 NADH are released as a product. Okay, now here what is phosphoglycerate? Phosphoglycerate is a type of acid. It is a acid which having carboxyl group. As you know that carboxyl group is a COOH. Okay, C double bonded with O and single bond O and H. It is a carboxyl group. Okay, then phosphoglycerate will convert itself to phosphoenol pyruvate, and during this time H2O is released. Now we say that in the respiration process energy is also released and H2O is also released, so energy are releasing and going on partly. Now here H2O is released also in the glycolysis process and also the next phases, so H2O is released as by product. Okay, now phosphoenol having one phosphate attached with the second carbon, and phosphoenol will again convert itself into two molecules of pyruvate, and during this time this phosphate will be released. Okay, this phosphate will be released and convert ADP to ATP, and of course these are two molecules, so 2 ADP will be converted into 2 ATP, and then all the three carbon are now free from the phosphate, so this is now called as the pyruvate, and these are two molecules. So the last product of the whole glycolysis is gained, and now it depends on the cell whether the cell have the presence of O2 and having mitochondria. The pyruvate molecule will then enter. If cell have mitochondria and O2, the pyruvate molecule will then enter into the aerobic Krebs cycle. If there is no O2 in the mitochondria, then the anaerobic lactic acid fermentation will be started, and then during this time energy will be released. Okay, so now here how much energy are released as byproduct? 2 ATP here. Okay, 2 ATP here and 2 ATP here. So how much energy is released? About 4 ATP. Okay, 4 ATP is released, and we used how much energy? 1 ATP here and 1 ATP here. So 4 minus 2, it will give us how much energy? 2 ATP. Okay, so we gain how much energy? 2 ATP and 2 NADH. Okay, 2 NADH. So it is proved that 2 ATP energy is released during the process of glycolysis. So I hope this lecture will be helpful to you, and if you have any doubt, any question in this, you can mention in the comment, and please subscribe and share my lecture for the next upcoming lectures. Please subscribe, like and share Hamzan Bhaiya.